sometimes God will put you into a forced fast almost. And it's crazy because that's how much he loves us. Like, he's willing to sit us down, make sure we don't got no money, no food, you know what I'm saying? I know that sounds harsh, and of course I'm saying it a little more harsh than it actually is, but like, sometimes God will take everything away from you just to sit you down long enough so you can hear his voice. You know? We think being in the house, oh, I'm stuck in the house, I'm stuck, da-da-da-da-da. Not realizing that, well, you might be stuck in quote on stuck, but you're stuck with God. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't, if I had to be stuck anywhere, I would love to be stuck with God. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I got to sit in the house and be bored, and you got to be careful when you say bored, because bored means you got a bunch of free time, but the assignment of God ain't never ended. So what we doing? Why you got extra time? You ain't doing your kingdom work. But I'm gonna have to eat that one later too. I already know it. I already know I'm gonna have to eat that one later. I ain't even gonna lie. I already know I'm gonna have to eat that one later, because that was for myself. That was for my own self. So I know I'm gonna have to receive that before I can give it. But once again, God will slow you down, sit you down, do whatever he needs to do just to get time with you. That's the kind of God we serve. And you gotta understand that just because you might not be doing anything for the day doesn't mean that you're not doing something for the day. You know what I'm saying? People always make it seem like following God is hard. No, it's really not. If you have enough patience to be still long enough, then it's really not, because all you're doing is seeking God. Seeking God is not always fast movement. We'd rather go to work and work a 9 to 5 instead of staying home and seeking God. One is easier, for one, and gives you more profit. Not to say that the profit's all that matters, but you got to understand that serving God, it gives you an inheritance. There's an inheritance attached to serving God, and that inheritance is mighty long. It's a whole lot longer than a $50,000 salary a year. I can guarantee you that. You know, but the problem is, we as believers don't want to be still long enough to hear what God is saying. We don't have no patience. We don't have no patience. We don't know how to be still. And, you know, it's part of the reason is because of social media. Because social media makes you feel like you have a time limit for everything. Okay? And what I've learned is that just because you see somebody else doing it on social media doesn't mean that you need to be doing it when they're doing it. You have to understand that there's time and effort that goes into stuff. There's transformation that goes into stuff. That's why Get Ready With Me are so funny, because we can never get ready with you. Because what you had to go through to get there, to that point, everybody ain't went through yet. And we will irritate our own selves trying to get to where somebody else has already been. Not understanding that we have to go through what they had to go through to get what they have. God forbid God listens to you and lets you go through what they went through to get to what they have. And now you crying and complaining because you can't even get past the first week. So I respectfully say that maybe we all need to take a collective break from social media. And when I say collective break, I mean a long one. I wouldn't be surprised if God is allowing TikTok to close down, because TikTok done took all of y'all time. Not just saying that we don't all get busy, because we do. But baby, I learned in 2026 that social media was my biggest enemy. Whole time we thinking that it's, oh, da-da-da-da-da, devil this, enemy that, da-da-da-da-da, your haters this, your haters that. Well, baby, ain't no bigger hater than yourself on social media, hating on your own self, because you not where you see yourself and you see somebody else doing what you love to do, but now you criticizing your own self and can't really be happy for them, because now you're operating out a place of jealousy, a place of jealousy, which I wanted to add stems from a place of feeling like you don't possess. That was Cain and Abel problem. Just be still and allow God to do in you what he did for others. And the more you focus on yourself, the more he can do. And every time I fast, I learn something about myself. Or I gain wisdom that I know wasn't mine. Because the stuff that be coming out of my mouth, I'd be like, that was God. That was God. That wasn't me. No.